The brutal murder of Fahim Saleh, a tale of betrayal and greed. On July 14, 2020, a chilling discovery shocked New York City. Fahim Saleh, a 33-year-old tech entrepreneur and CEO, was found dead in his luxury $2.25 million condo on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. His body was dismembered, his head and limbs severed and placed in plastic construction bags, with an electric saw still plugged into the wall nearby. The crime scene was eerily clean, suggesting a calculated and methodical killer. This gruesome murder, initially thought to resemble a professional hit, unraveled as a story of betrayal by someone Saleh trusted, a young assistant who repaid kindness with unimaginable cruelty. Here's the detailed account of this shocking case, pieced together from police reports, court documents, and media coverage. Who was Fahim Saleh? Fahim Saleh was a visionary entrepreneur, born in Saudi Arabia to Bangladeshi parents and raised in upstate New York. A self-taught programmer, Saleh began coding as a teenager, launching his first company in high school. He gained early success with Prankdeal, a prank calling app that, despite controversy for enabling harassment, generated millions and funded his later ventures. Saleh went on to found Pathao, a ride-sharing startup in Bangladesh, and Gokada, a motorcycle ride-hailing and delivery app in Nigeria.
He was also a founding partner of Adventure Capital,
a Manhattan-based venture capital firm investing in transit startups in Colombia and Bangladesh. Known for his generosity and passion for empowering young entrepreneurs, Saleh was described by friends as a New Yorker by soul who believed technology could transform lives. His company, Gokada, praised his immeasurable passion for Nigeria's youth, noting his commitment to creating opportunities through innovation. The crime, a calculated execution. On July 13, 2020, at approximately 8:30 a.m., Fahim Saleh returned to his luxury condo at 265 East Houston Street after a morning run. Surveillance footage captured him entering the building's private elevator, which opened directly into his 7th-floor apartment. Unbeknownst to him, a masked figure dressed in a black suit, gloves, and an opaque face mask followed him into the lobby and slipped into the elevator. The suspect appeared to fumble with the elevator controls, possibly to avoid arousing Saleh's suspicion. As the elevator doors opened into Saleh's apartment, the assailant struck, using a taser to immobilize Saleh, causing him to collapse. The attacker then stabbed Saleh multiple times in the neck and torso, inflicting 5 fatal wounds. The medical examiner later confirmed that Saleh died from these stab wounds. The following day, July 14th, the killer returned to the apartment to cover his tracks. Using a Makita electric saw purchased from a Home Depot in Flatiron, he dismembered Saleh's body, severing his head, arms, and legs below the knees. The body parts were placed in contractor-grade trash bags, and cleaning supplies, including a Swiffer wetjet, were used to maintain a surprisingly bloodless crime scene. However, the killer's work was interrupted when Saleh's cousin arrived to check on him, after not hearing from him for 24 hours. Alerted by the building's buzzer, the suspect fled through a service exit, leaving behind the saw, bags containing Saleh's remains, and other incriminating evidence. The cousin's 911 call, filled with anguished cries of "his head is not there anymore," captured the horror of the discovery. The suspect, Tyrese Haspel. Investigators quickly zeroed in on Tyrese Devon Haspel, Saleh's 21-year-old former executive assistant. Haspel, a Long Island native who had attended Hofstra University, was hired by Saleh in May 2018 to handle personal and financial tasks, giving him access to Saleh's financial accounts. By fall 2018, Haspel began embezzling funds, creating a fraudulent PayPal account and a corporate bank account to siphon money from Saleh's businesses. He mimicked legitimate transactions to avoid detection, stealing approximately $400,000 by the time of the murder. In January 2020, Saleh discovered a $35,000 theft and confronted Haspel. Rather than press charges, Saleh, known for his kindness, fired Haspel and offered a 2-year repayment plan. Unbeknownst to Saleh, Haspel continued the larger PayPal scheme, using the stolen funds to finance a lavish lifestyle, including luxury gifts for his girlfriend Maureen Chavo and an extravagant birthday celebration planned at a Soho Airbnb. Fearing that Saleh would uncover the full extent of his theft and potentially testify against him, Haspel began plotting the murder. His planning was meticulous. He researched human neck anatomy, studied Saleh's building plans, and installed a Nest camera in a vacant apartment across the street to surveil Saleh's movements.
He purchased the taser knife saw
And cleaning supplies in advance, and even followed Saleh to Nigeria in March 2020 with a knife, though he did not act at that time. Haspel also considered burning Saleh's house in Hopewell Junction or attacking him during a run. By June 2020, he committed to executing the murder in Saleh's Manhattan apartment. The investigation and arrest. The police investigation moved swiftly, aided by damning evidence. Surveillance footage captured Haspel at Home Depot purchasing the saw and cleaning supplies, and anti-felon identification cards ejected from the taser linked him directly to the crime. His credit card, believed to be funded by Saleh, was used to buy the murder tools and pay for car services to and from the crime scene. After fleeing the apartment on July 14th, Haspel continued his preparations for his girlfriend's birthday, including buying balloons. On July 17, 2020, he was arrested at a luxury Airbnb in Soho, less than a mile from the crime scene where he was hiding out. His web search history in the days following the murder included queries for Fahim Saleh, murder of tech CEO in New York, and dismembered body, further implicating him. The trial and conviction. Haspel was indicted on charges including first-degree murder, second-degree murder, grand larceny, burglary, concealment of a human corpse, and tampering with evidence. He pleaded not guilty in October 2020, and his trial, delayed by COVID-19, began in May 2024. Prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence, including surveillance footage, the taser's identification cards, and Haspel's own admission on the stand that he tased and stabbed Saleh. The defense, led by Legal Aid Society lawyer Sam Roberts, argued that Haspel suffered from extreme emotional disturbance due to a traumatic childhood. His mother was institutionalized. His grandmother died when he was 12, and he lived in foster care after clashing with his aunt. They claimed this disturbance was triggered by fear of losing his girlfriend, who was set to return to France, and sought a reduced charge of manslaughter. The jury rejected this defense, convicting Haspel on all counts, including first-degree murder, on June 24, 2024. On September 10, 2024, Haspel was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison and ordered to pay full restitution to Saleh's companies. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg described Saleh as a kind, generous, and empathetic person whose life was tragically cut short by Haspel's greed. Even after the defendant stole from him to fund a lavish lifestyle, Mr. Saleh still gave him a second chance, Bragg said, highlighting the betrayal at the heart of the case. The aftermath and legacy. Saleh's murder sends shockwaves through the tech community and beyond. His family, devastated by the loss, described him as a brilliant mind who never left anyone behind and whose innovative mind took everyone on a journey. Gakata and Pathau issued statements mourning their founder, emphasizing his vision for technology to improve lives. The case underscored the dangers of unchecked greed and the profound impact of betrayal, particularly against someone who had shown leniency and trust. Saleh's legacy lives on through his ventures and the inspiration he provided to young entrepreneurs worldwide. For New Yorkers, the crime recalled the city's darker, more violent past, standing out in a gentrified Lower East Side where such brutality seemed unthinkable. The meticulous planning, the gruesome dismemberment, and the betrayal of a mentor by his assistant made this case a haunting reminder that even acts of kindness can be met with unimaginable evil.